熊沢さん大丈夫？お茶飲む？
Alright everybody, welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry. And this should be the 999th video on my channel. That's right, we are approaching 1000 videos, which means tomorrow, as I'm recording this, tomorrow when this gets uploaded, which is this Wednesday, this should be out this Wednesday, tomorrow on Thursday, I'll be uploading my 1000th video special. That's right, I've uploaded 1000 videos now, which is just crazy. Absolutely insane. Um, very, very nuts, very crazy, of course. So, yeah, I've already done my 1000th video special. Don't worry, it's not a special video or anything like that. It's really nothing special. I mean, I guess I can. Should I reveal it what it is right now? I'm not gonna do it. Especially if you're here for Umineko, it's definitely not anything special, not at all. But yeah, listen, it's the best I could do for now. At least it's better than my 100th whatever special that I did subscriber thing. Listen, I'm not good with that kind of stuff. Okay, this is these are specials given by someone that has never given a gift before. I don't give people gifts. I've never given people gifts, so I don't know how one is supposed to do it. So this is the best I can do. Okay, but yes, 1000 videos. I've done these special videos since hitting 100 videos on my channel. So 100th video special, 200, 300, 400, 500, and now we're on 1000. But I'm gonna stop doing it for 1100, 1200. I'm not gonna do that because I mean at this point I've already uploaded 1000. If I do get to 1200 or whatever, if I get to 2000 videos, that'll be. I mean, first things first. That won't happen for at least another several years because I mean it took me several years to get to 1000 videos. So I won't be doing it for 1100 etc. That'll be too much of a bother. Okay, and I'm already bad at giving gifts, so yeah, might do one for 1500. And we'll probably do one for 2000 if I ever get there in several years from now. And hopefully that ends up being better than whatever this 1000th video is. Speaking of which, I actually tried to check, like, there's a whole YouTube studio thing where you can check the statistics on your videos. And apparently, I'm halfway, hours-wise, I'm halfway to getting enough hours monthly funnily enough, to be able to receive monetization on my videos. I'm halfway through, so if twice the amount of people watch these videos as I currently do, I can monetize. Well, I can't because you also need 1000 subscribers, I'm pretty sure. And I'm 100. I'm on 100 subscribers, and getting 1000 subscribers is just insane to me. It's out of the realm of my current thoughts. So I highly doubt I will get to 1000 subscribers. But I very much, I'm already shocked by getting 100. This is just more than I could ever think I could possibly get. And of course, do not aim to be getting monetization from my videos, but I just find it really interesting because I'm pretty sure you need 1000 watch hours monthly to get monetization, and I'm on 479 or something like that. So it's just about halfway through. I found that really interesting, but also it makes sense considering, especially these Umineko videos are really long. They're hours of long videos, and if a lot of people watch the entire thing, or maybe half of the entire thing, then yeah, you'll get to 400 hours monthly. But that's kind of crazy, in the time, yeah, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, and there's a whole bunch of statistics you can check out. Like, it's almost insane the statistics that you can check out behind the scenes in the YouTube thing. I never checked it out before, but you can check out like the view duration, how long the average person watches watches the video. You can check out how much the amount of views you get has progressed throughout the weeks and stuff like that, right? So I'm getting, my view count is going exponentially up as of right now because I'm getting hundreds of views on some of these videos, which is absolutely crazy to me that so many people are enjoying these. Thank you so much. I am very grateful. Compared to, let's go back a year ago, where I was getting, I don't know, 40 or 30 views, and a lot of them were bots. So that didn't really help. But it's very interesting how it's just has had that progression. You can check out all the statistics and that. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, but I don't want to get into it right now. And honestly, I checked it out really quickly because I wanted to check the different settings you can do on YouTube, and it's cool. It's cool that they're choosing to do all that. I'm sure it's useful for people who do YouTube professionally, you know what I mean? Not like me who just does this for fun and for for reading a visual novel. I'm not any professional at all, but it's cool to have all those statistics. Oh yeah, and there's also this bar where you can check out how well your videos have done. So you have the last 10 videos you've made, and you can check out which ranking they're at. So basically, the video that has done the best, gotten the most likes, gotten the most views, that'll be like number 1 of 10, and the video that's done the worst will be like 10 of 10, right? And consistently, it seems like my number 1 out of 10 videos has always been a certain Umineko video that has gotten the most views or likes or whatever, most impressions basically. So yeah, a whole bunch of settings. But anyway, 1000th videos after this one. I mean, this one being 999th. But yeah, let's hope that what happens in Mineko is as special as that, or maybe not. Maybe this part nothing interesting happens. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's rare to have nothing interesting happening in Umineko, so we'll see. So let's recap last part. The family that got sent down the dungeon by Gop ended up down a dungeon, and they discussed a whole bunch of different things. I sussed out or suspected maybe either Kirie or Cross or anyone there for whether they're acting nice because they're trying to get on the good side of the culprit, of a possible culprit, or whether they're acting nice because they genuinely mean it, or they're acting nice because they have to act nice so that they can work together to get out of the dungeon. So I was thinking about that, and then they're trying to get out, and they find this phone, and they dial external lines. So the police, which is in Japan, is 110, and I did look it up after that last part was over. In Norway, it is indeed 112. So 113 is, like I said, is the ambulance. 112 is the police. 110 is the fire. So I was right about that. That's the fire, department. And they couldn't dial because physically as well as magically, apparently this island is cut off from the external world. So when they died internally, they managed to get a call to over to the cousins plus Kumasawa and Gora, and it worked. And they talked to each other, they had a discussion, they talked about the strategy moving onward, and everyone apparently got a chance to talk except for Maria, which I found kind of sus. I didn't actually. I said I was gonna check out what was actually said, but I forgot to do that. I'll try to do that actually after this party's over. What it actually said, because from what I read, it said that all of them got to discuss on the phone with someone else, but I didn't see Maria getting to discuss. It said it pointed out to all their names, but I never saw Maria's name. So Maria not get to talk on the phone. So there's a bit contradictory there. But again, I could just be very blind and didn't notice Maria's name or something like that, or maybe the text said something different. So I'll try to remember to do that actually after this party's over, because that seems to be an important detail for me to make sure I'm right on, because I very well could be wrong. Still grateful, by the way. Now that I've done recapping, after that, okay. Continuing on after that, they close the call. The people in the dungeon still trying to figure out how to get out, and now we have Mari and Kumasawa here talking to each other, and of course the rest of the cousins are here too. They're all locked up. Battler and George and Gora, the men, they went down to make sure everything is locked, and now they're gonna come back and barricade everything using a bed and stuff like that, and chairs and stuff. And so they're going to barricade themselves in the guest house, similarly to how they did in episode 3. But it seems like they're going to barricade themselves in the guest room here, the cousin's room, instead of the lobby like they did in episode 3. So it's going to be a bit different, but still similar, still in the guest house. And yeah, that's where we're at now. So, still grateful for all of you guys' comments, reminding me of things that happened always since episode 1, because you know, I forget that stuff. Okay, there's a lot going on in this visual novel. You know what I mean? A lot of character discussions, a lot of different scenes, a lot of different things, and you know, I just hope people aren't expecting me to remember everything. I try to remember as much as I can, but there's only so much this brain can fill, while also having to fill everything else that I have to fill in my life. So it's, yeah, I've tried my best, but thank you for reminding me for sure. Thank you for all the helpful comments and all the critiquing comments as well, all the feedback comments in general. Very very much appreciated, and keep them coming if you so wish to keep them coming, or you know, if you just wanna watch this and you know, maybe sit, relax, and read this with me, this visual novel, then that's fine too. You know, we're here to relax. Just like Mari's gonna give some tea. We're here to relax, drink some tea, and read some Umineko. You know, this is, we forget about all the stress we deal outside of this here. We just sit back and read the visual novel, and then after this we can go back to thinking about all that stuff. But for now, we're in Umineko mode. Alright. Okay, so, I think we are ready to read. Oh yeah, and all other comments are appreciated too, by the way. It's not just the, you know, feedback comments. I appreciate funny comments as well. I mean, some people are, you guys are really funny, by the way. you Umineko people. That's probably not the best way to refer to you guys, is it? You people who read Umineko, I guess? Fans of Umineko? I think that's right. Fans of Umineko, I think that works. Or maybe not, I don't know. Whatever you want to call yourself. You're really funny, alright? You're funny people. So, a lot of your comments definitely make me laugh out loud, for sure, when you crack some jokes. So, obviously, those comments are always appreciated. Anything that makes me laugh is very much appreciated. Or anything like that. So, yeah. Basically, any comment is appreciated. Other than the bot comments that I get, sometimes I get comments made from bots, and I make sure to remove those. Sometimes I'm late to remove those, but I try to remove those as fast as I can, because you know they get in the way. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's terrible that I can't do anything about them other than remove them whenever I see them. But yeah, hopefully that hasn't affected you guys that much. It should. It should be kind of obvious when you see a bot comment, right? Okay. Anyway. Let's start reading. What am I? I'm talking a bunch of crap. Let's actually start reading then. Alright. Want some tea, Kumasawa? Oh! That's 1, 2, 3, 4 4 and a half. 4.5 hosts from Kumasawa right there. Alright, makes sense that she's the one that gave birth to Virgilia in episode 3. Only she could possibly rival Virgilia, perhaps. Even though Beato's still second place. I believe Beato's still second place with... No, wait! Beato's third place with like 5.5 hoes or something. Because Kasumi Sumadera, she got like 9 hoes in that one time in the summoning part. So I think it goes Virgilia, Virgilia, Kasumi, Beato, and Kumasawa. I think those are like the order of longest hoes.
ありがとうございますね。ありがとうございます。申し訳ございませんが、しばらくそっとしていただけますか。
I'm sorry, but may I be left with my thoughts for a little while? Might have tried to be nice, but it seemed like Kumasawa still wasn't able to clear away her confusion.
マリア、気を使ってくれてありがとうだぜ。熊沢さんは休ませてやってくれ。
Let's let Kumasawa-san rest for now, says Jessica. I want to say these videos have done a decent job for the last couple of videos. I mean, to not be lagging when the rain comes up. But I'm still gonna keep reading what they're saying just in case it does lag. I'm not gonna risk that. I want to make sure you guys are with me here as I'm reading this, just in case. Jessica too showed consideration for Kumasawa, certain of the shock she must have received after witnessing such a tragedy. But her imagination couldn't even come close to the impossible scene Kumasawa had witnessed. So, another interesting thing is that at no point, I mean Maria obviously, but at no point is either Jessica or anyone else suspecting Kumasawa or Goda for being the culprits here, right? I mean, think about it. They could have very well killed everyone there, including Kinzo, and come running here acting like they're all shocked and stuff like that, and be like, "Oh no, what did I witness?" I feel like, now, I mean, obviously, from the outside looking in, I know that's not what happened. Well, unless the visual novel is showing me some crap. But I feel like if I was in there and I didn't have as deep of a connection to Kumasawa and Gora as the siblings do, especially if it was Battler, because Battler does not have that deep of a connection with Gora at all. I think if it was Battler, I would at least maybe suspect Gora or something. Because think about it, right? Like, yes, you don't want to suspect him. Battler openly just says that he doesn't want to suspect them. But I feel like if I don't believe in magic, I don't think suspecting Gora and Kumasawa should be out of the realm of possibility. But I find it interesting that at no point do any of them suspect, either not even George or anybody, not one of them says anything. George, I think a big part of the reason why is because he sees this as the best possible, most safest thing to do, right? Because if they are the culprits, then they're probably done for either way, right? And they haven't been killed yet, so I don't know. But still, it's good to think of all the possibilities, right? Nevertheless, with her mother having been killed and her father having been captured, there was no way that Jessica could stay calm either. She sealed her anxiety and sadness using her anger towards Kinzo and walked irritatedly around the room.
熊沢さん。
Another thing is that, I mean, the one thing I will say though is that they did talk to Cross and the others in the dungeon, and all of their stories seem to match up, right? That Kinzo's the one that did the murders. So I understand now why they'd be completely on the safe side. But before they had gone the cloth in the dungeon, maybe you could have started suspecting Jessica Gora of being the culprits, right? Because now we know that their stories match up. But maybe that's why George is now on the safe side and he's willing to go down with Batter and stuff to make sure that everything is closed up. Because I feel like I'm not sure if everyone would be as willing to simply by what just happened, simply by just them coming over and saying, "Oh, we're instead." But now that they got confirmation from Cross and Kitty as well, and the servants in the dungeon, and Nanjo, then I feel like that convinces them that okay, Kumosawa and God are obviously innocent in all of this. But as far as you're aware, at least, so that's probably why everyone's just got their guard down now. And also, there's a big shock to have two people that servants that you trust a lot come over and be like, "Hey, your family's dead. Watch out!" Right? That's probably a big shock for them, if you think about it. So the cousins probably don't have the, I don't know, the spirit to try and suspect them of lying or anything like that right off the bat. So, yeah, again, it's so easy from the outside looking in to be like, "Oh, this is the best course of action. You should have done this. You should have done that." But when you look at it from the inside, you realize like, is it though? Is it really is it really that easy for the people inside to actually act in the best possible way? It's not. It's not. It's really not. You don't really know what it feels like until you're in the actual situation. I mean, come on. They just told them that their parents have died. I mean, that's wild. Look, George must be feeling horrible. So, it's not that easy to think rationally.
母さんは本当に死んじゃったの？
Is mom really dead? Exactly. Even Jessica's questioning that. So it's just like, you know what I mean? I mean, it's not obviously Jessica doesn't think that Kumasawa is a liar, but it's one of those things where you can't always just make the best possible course of action when shocking things happen to you.
ええ、あんなひどい死に方を私は見たことがありませんとも。
I've never seen such a horrible way to die before. That's crazy because you've lived for a long time, so you probably seen more things than most.
ひょっとするとまだ生きてて手当てをすれば助かるなんてことはないんだよな。
It's not possible that she's still alive, and with treatment we could save her, is it? It's definitely not possible, no. Definitely not. Her face was blasted half. It's not possible. There's no there's no surgeon that could possibly fix that up, patch that up. No way.
頭があんなことになって生きていられるわけがありません。
If such a thing happened to her head, it's unimaginable that she could still be alive.
そりゃそうだぜ。頭が砕けちまったら手当てなんて必要ねえよな。
If the head gets smashed, there's no need for treatment, is there? When Gore had come flying to the guest house, overcome with agitation, he had told about the massacre in the dining hall without concealing anything. Except for the part about the witches and magic, which they themselves still could not believe. In other words, they hadn't even sugarcoated the cold-blooded way in which Natsu and the others had died. It was too late now, but Kumasawa regretted having obviously said too much. However, while lightly shaking her head and with a slightly painful laugh, Jessica spoke.
いや、むしろ話してくれたおかげで冷静になれたぜ。
If anything, I was able to stay level-headed thanks to what she told us.
頭を砕かれちまったってところを伏せられてたら、私はひょっとすると生きてるかもしれないって言って屋敷へ向かいじいさまに出くわして、ひょっとすると殺されてたかもしれない。
If it avoided mentioning the part about her head being smashed, maybe I'd have said that she could still be alive, then ran off towards the mansion, straight into grandfather, and might have been killed.
一末の希望が命取りになった可能性だってあるわけさ。その意味では感謝してるよ。
With that in mind, I'm grateful.
本当に申し訳ございません。言葉をあまりに選ばなかったことはお詫びします。
I apologize for not choosing my words carefully.
今はいいよ。母さんはもうどうしようもないけど、父さんはまだ生きてる。カノン君もシャノンもキリエおばさんも南條先生もね。
There's nothing I can do about mom now, but the rest are still alive.
なんとか彼らを助けたいし、彼らに負担をかけないためにも余計なことをするべきではない。
I mean, the rest that didn't also die are still alive.
電話の前で待機してることが今は一番の協力になるかもしれないし。
The most helpful thing we can do right now might be to wait by the phone. Yes, at least one person should be right next to the phone at all times. You know, should probably do rounds to switch up who is by the phone. Probably a good idea. There could be a phone call asking them to create a diversion to facilitate their escape. Or perhaps the others might learn their location and call for rescue. Jessica understood that in order to act promptly when that time came, the only thing they could do for the time being was to wait in this room. George, Battler, and Gorad returned, having finished checking all of the locks downstairs. Each of the three was holding a bunch of different objects. George had things like drinks, canned food, crackers, and other types of snacks that he had found in the lounge and pantry, as well as a first aid kit. All consumables that would be indispensable while they were locked down. True. Got a large folding ladder and carpentry tools. Ah, yeah, I see. Those were so that, in the case of an emergency, they could nail over the door from the inside to seal it. If it came to that, the ladder was for escaping out the window. Makes sense. Battler had brought up objects which could be used as weapons, such as blades and poles. These are for killing. The kitchen knives went without saying. The disassembled table legs could be used as clubs, and the pole roughly the size of a person, which had been made by taking apart a hat stand. What's a hat stand? Could surely be used as a spear, even though it had no point. Oh, yes, I know what a hat stand is now. Okay, when you said used as a spear, that's when I understood what it was. Okay, I see. All right. Okay. Even though it had no point. Yeah, but that's fine. I like how Battler's smiling. Did you guys see that? Battler's smiling on the right. There's a good possibility that the enemies were carrying guns, so it was dubious whether these would be of any use. Hey, better than nothing, you know what I mean? but it was still better than not having them. And if those things could provide at least a little peace of mind, then they could also expect some kind of calming effect from them. Then they placed beds and sofas from around the room up against the door, barricading it. They didn't go as far as to seal it up with nails. There was still the chance that Cross and the others would escape and come to meet up. They had apparently set up a barricade at the top of the stairs as well. I see. It had been designed to create racket, so it would work in place of a warning alarm as well. It was apparently Battler's idea. Yeah, makes sense. Good one, Battler. Clever. For that reason, they turned the TV off. Or maybe you're incompetent, Battler, huh? So that if the first floor window were to be broken, they would know by the sound. Once the switch had been turned off, all that was left was an eerie silence. The sound of the violent wind and rain. Were they going to have to spend the whole night in such crushing suspense? The boat was meant to be coming tomorrow morning. However, judging by the weather report, the typhoon was expected to continue all day tomorrow, and the boat probably wouldn't come. The typhoon would pass in the morning of the day after tomorrow. In other words, the boat would be coming the morning of the day after tomorrow, as in the morning of October 6th. And right now, it was late at night, October 4th. They would have to spend more than 30 hours in this island, with Kenzo turned cold-blooded murderer and his weird companions prowling about. That is more than 30 hours. Let's see. That is indeed more than 30 hours, yes. Oof. Even with the shutters closed, there will definitely be a little bit of light seeping out. It might let the enemy know that they were hiding here. Battler suggests that it might be best to turn off the lights, but then you can't see. But they had already been taken over by such a ghastly feeling just from turning the TV off. There wasn't anyone who directly challenged his proposal, but then again, there wasn't a single other person who agreed to it.
Oh, テレビダメなの?
Can't watch TV? Televi?
ああ、悪いが我慢してくれ。敵の侵入の音を聞き逃すわけにはいかない。
You can't afford to miss the sound of the enemy breaking in.
つまんない。
Boring. Even though she had been told that her mother had died, Maria alone somehow didn't seem to feel an approaching sense of danger. It seemed she was quite displeased with having the TV turned off. Even with this bizarre situation in front of her, she can't share our sense of danger? Because she's so young? Nah, she's 9 years old. There's no way her mother's death wouldn't affect her unless she obviously, well, Mari's different, but I mean, obviously, a lot of other children would obviously would react differently if they heard that their mother's head was smashed. So, alright, to battle right now, seeing that young girl act in a way that was even slightly out of place made me feel that there was something very eerie about Maria. Oh. Dungeon time, okay.
とは言ったものの、晩作尽きたわね。
Alright, there's no rain here, so hopefully the frame rate is good so I don't have to talk over what they're saying. That's great.
鉄格子はなんとかなりそう？
残念だが想像以上に堅牢だ。いつ頃に作られたものか知らんが耐用年数も文句なし。実に優良な物件だよ。
Kiria chuckled softly. They had no moves they could make, but the mood had calmed just a little.
さながらここは取られた駒を置く駒置き場ですな。
Nanjo, you might be onto something there. You might be onto something there, huh? You're all chess pieces, remember? the alludes to chess has been so much since the start of the visual novel. At this point, that's crazy, bro. All right.
打つ手はもはやありませんか。
まだよ。諦めるには早いわ。思考の停止は鼓動の停止に同じよ。
Kirie, you remember from episode 3? We're humans. Never stop thinking. When I made that crazy Nanjo theory about him staring at the TV while dying, bro, never stop thinking, yo. Never stop thinking. I still remember. I'll never forget. Kirie, I'll never forget. If you stop thinking, we'll stop breathing. May as well. We may as well just lie and die, starve to death, whatever, bro. Never stop thinking.
だな。チェスの駒置き場に意味はないが、将棋ならば大きな意味を持つこともある。
Okay, so now we're switching up to shogi.
駒置き場の一枚の歩が相手にプレッシャーを与えることだってあるはずだ。
We're playing shogi now, apparently. Okay. Here's the problem. I don't know how shogi works. I've never played it in my life. Alright? I've played chess before, obviously, because it's chess. But I mean, shogi is not a big thing where we're here. I'm sure if I was Japanese, I'd know all about shogi, but I don't. Yikes. But okay, a pawn can put pressure on the opponent in shogi. A captured pawn. Okay.
なるほど。しかし、この鉄格子はどうしようも。
私たちにはね。でも、ここの場所を特定し、合田さんに連絡することができれば、助けに来てもらうことはできるかも。
なるほど。しかし合田さんに危険を強いることになりますな。その場合、成人男性が不在になるゲストハウスのお子さんたちも不安です。
Hey, what do you mean? You got George up in there. I'm Battler. Come on, don't underestimate us.
リスクを恐れるなら、事態が好転するまで塩漬けにするのも悪くない。もっとも、損切りを恐れれば、紙切れ同然になるかもしれんがね。我々の命がだが。
Okay, Cross. If you're risk averse, fighting your time until the situation improves again is not a bad idea. However, if you don't know when to cut your losses, what you have might become worthless scraps of paper, and what we have is our lives. Hmm.
親の子犬もね。私たちで何とかするからおとなしくしていなさいって偉そうに電話して、その下の根も乾かないうちに助けを求めるなんて。実にかっこ悪いわね。
Okay, Kirie.
この後に及んでは、くだらんプライドなどとっくに紙切れだ。知恵を絞ろうじゃないか。ここはどこなんだ。本当に食堂の真下なのだろうか。それとも屋敷とは異なる別の場所だろうか。
Should you prioritize pride in your last moments of death? Is it very important, or should you risk bigger for the sake of pride, or should you stay on the safe side for the sake of a bigger possibility of survival? I wonder what Leviathan would think of that. Wait, no, she's envy. I wonder what Lucifer would think of that. Cross, Kitty, and Nandra began to discuss their plans. Meanwhile, Kanon and Shannon. Kanon was squatting by the bar, silently trying to sense anyone's presence, just as he had been ordered. Shannon came close to him, and they both squatted down together.
気配は感じるの？
こちらに意識は向けていないけれど、比較的近くに誰かいる。
So Kanon does sense someone close by, okay?
それは人間？
Human?
ヤギたちだと思う。
It's the goats, okay?
あいつらの吐息は実に賑やかだよ。
Their breathing is really noisy, okay? Kanon's ability to sense the presence of others was several levels above that of a human. He described their breathing as noisy, but Cross and the rest couldn't even pick up the slightest hint of it. Therefore, even if he had simply reported it, they would merely have doubted his ears, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, don't worry, I knew. Like Kano could notice the goats and their breathing, but obviously we know Kano if can't tell them because they wouldn't believe him.
捕まっちゃったね。
珍しいよ。殺されないで捕まるなんて。
今回はベアトリーチェ様がお越しにならないし、親方様が書斎を出られるし、何が何だかわかんないね。
Shannon, you saying you don't have a clue what's going on, but me, I don't have a clue what you're saying. This time, Beatrice-sama didn't make her appearance, and the master left his study. This time, okay. Make it make sense! What's happening? Oh, yeah. But you're part of the chess piece. Your chess piece is in the game board. How do you know what happened in the other timelines, Shannon? What? I guess Kano knows about it as well. Does every servant know about it? Does Genji know? Kumasawa and Gora don't because they don't have the one-winged eagle. Shannon appears to be aware of what's happening right now. She appears to be aware that Beato is the one that's supposed to make her appearance, and Kinzo's supposed to stay in his study. She's apparently aware of all that. Has she experienced the other timelines? How does this work? How does she know what's supposed to happen? This time, she says. Is she like Battler in the other dimension who can view every episode? But at the same time, she's a player in the actual visual novel. She's a player, she's part of it. She's not like Battler who's just viewing it from another dimension. She's a player, but she's self-aware of what's happening. And Akanon is too. And Genji, before he died, seemed to have been as well.
わかるさ。何が起ころうと変わろうと、すべてあの魔女の気まぐれと余興。結果は何も変わらないのさ。
今回は黄金鏡に行けるかな。
If this time we'll be able to go to the Golden Land. This time. Were we able to go last time? What happened to every other time?
さあね。僕たちは脱落率が高いから。
You have a high rate of losing. What?
そういえば、二人で第一の番を生き延びたのって、ずいぶん珍しいね。
Let's see. First episode. Shannon died in the first Twilight. Second episode. You both survived the first Twilight. Second episode, you both survived the first Twilight. Right? Yeah, because everyone except Rosa, every sibling except Rosa died in the second episode. Third episode, all of you died. All the servants died plus Kinzo, so... interesting. I mean, you say it's rare, but it's literally a 1 out of 3 chance so far. Based on the first 3 episodes, it's a 1 out of 3 chance that you both survive the first Twilight. And it's a 2 out of 3 chance that at least one of you survives the first Twilight, so...
儀式が始まってるのに、こうして二人でお話できるなんて、なんだかすごく珍しい気がする。
Is it? It's Shannon, have you experienced more than these 3 past episodes? Have you experienced other timelines and noticed that hey, it's rare for both of us to survive the first one? How do you know? Wait a minute, but she's saying something interesting here. I get the feeling that it's incredibly unusual for us to be able to talk like this. She's getting the feeling. What does that mean, you get the feeling? Does that mean you haven't actually experienced them, but you just have a feeling like this has happened before? I don't get it. I don't get it. In my head, this doesn't make sense.
そうかもね。でも、それもまた魔女の余興だろうさ。
I'm kind of saying maybe.
僕たちがいつもすぐに脱落するから、今度は少し生き延びさせて、 からかってやろうくらいにしか思ってないよ。
また黄金鏡にはたどり着けないのかな。
どうせそうさ。
I'm sure we won't. You reached the golden land again? So you've reached it before? So reaching the golden land isn't the end all be all then? Because clearly you can reach the golden land at one point and then after that never be able to reach it again. So it's not a permanent thing. Reaching the golden land is not a permanent thing. You go back to this hell of 2 days in this island of dying over and over.
下手な期待を持つとまたつけ込まれる。
そうだね。前回はカノン君がつけ込まれたもんね。
Okay, so clearly she knows of what happened in episode 3. Because last time, yeah, episode 3, Kanon got taken advantage of. He got wrecked. I mean, he did beat Lucifer, and then the other sisters just came and destroyed them. Before Genji, interrupted. So Shannon clearly is aware of what happened in episode 3 at this point. Yeah, she's clearly aware. So Shannon knows what happened between timelines. It has to be.
僕はバカだ。
I'm an idiot. And Kanon is aware as well. Kanon made a sour look and turned his head. Shannon laughed softly and apologetically leaned towards his shoulder.
でもお嬢様が無事でよかったね。
第一の晩を逃れただけさ。それ以降の晩により無残な方法で殺されるのを待たされているだけかもしれない。それを言ったら姉さんこそジョージ様が無事でよかったじゃないか。二人で黄金鏡にたどり着けるといいね。
ありがとう。同じことをカノン君とお嬢様にも。
But clearly, if you reach the golden line at one point, the next episode you don't reach it anymore. So what's happening? Besides, have either of you ever reached the golden line? Have either of you ever been one of the 5 survivors? Not in episode 1, not in episode 2. Who were the 5 survivors in episode 3? It was Nanjo, Battler, Eva. Nanjo, Battler, Eva, Jessica, and George, wasn't it? Weren't those the 5 remaining at the very end there? Before they all died, obviously. I mean, they all died at the end either way, other than Eva, who got to escape, so... But weren't those the 5 that weren't part of the 13 sacrifices? Or am I wrong? Battler, George, Jessica, plus Eva and Nanjo. Because Cross and Natsita died just earlier. The 2 of them. They were the last of the 9th, the 8th Twilights or whatever. So at no point have either of you reached the Golden Land. Not in episode 3, not in episode 2. In episode 2 was Rosa Maria, Battler, Kenzo, and Genji, I want to say. And in episode 1 it was the 4 cousins plus Natsuhi? Was it back then? I want to say. So... And then Natsuhi died at the end and then the 4 siblings died anyway. So, yeah. Neither of you have ever reached the Golden Land. Neither of you have been one of the last remaining. Jessica has, George has, but neither of you have. Let me think. No, wait. Wait, when did George? Didn't George die at some point in the episode? Yeah. That's right. I wish the same for you, Emily, as well.
僕は期待はしてないよ。
I mean, you haven't succeeded yet. So both of your partners have managed to get their golden land, quote unquote, whatever that means. But neither of you have ever managed to get there yourselves.
姉さんの言う通りだ。あの魔女はご褒美をぶら下げて相手が右往左往するのを見て楽しんでるだけなんだ。どうせ誰も黄金鏡に行けやしない。僕がお嬢様と黄金鏡にたどり着きたいと願ってしまったなら、あいつはそれこそ面白がって絶対に僕たちをたどり着かせたりはしないさ。
そうだね。ベアトリーチェ様はより面白くなるように生贄の順番を考えてる。
無作為に選んでるなんて大嘘だ。
So you agree, Canon? You agree, Canon, that it's a lie? Them be chosen at random by some roulette? Because they keep contradicting themselves about whether it's random or not. I'm with you, Canon. I don't know. I don't know if they do choose at random.
あのペテン師魔女め、どうせ黄金鏡にたどり着けばあらゆる願いが叶うなんてのも嘘っぱちに決まってる。
そんなことはないよ。黄金鏡は素晴らしいところだよ。
行ったことあるの？
I was literally gonna say, have you been there? You've never been there. You've died in all 3 episodes before you even get to be there.
ちょっぴりだけね。
When?
それすらも
Oh,
ベアトリーチェ様の戯れだったのだろうけど。
was it with George in episode 3, last episode? Is that why there was a number written on the door? But then, what about Kanon and Jessica? Kanon and Jessica got a similar treatment, and Umberto sacrificed her heart or whatever in a faking manner to make us believe that she'll sacrifice herself for Kanon and Jessica. Did they not visit the Golden Knife for a little bit? How does this work?
どんなとこなのそこ？
Kanon's asking about it. Kanon, don't get your hopes up. You said it yourself.
うん。素晴らしいところだよ。うまく説明できない。安らかな夢の中みたいな世界。
バラが咲き乱れてて美しい蝶が舞ってるような極楽みたいな感じ。
そういう具体的なイメージのところじゃないの。本当に夢の中みたいなところなの。そこにいるときはとても穏やかで安らかで、いつまでも眠ってることを許されてる。まるで休日の早朝のお布団の中みたいな感じ。カーテンの隙間から日が差してきて、そろそろ起きないと思うんだけど、今日は休日だから起きなくてもいいんだって気づいて、もう一回お布団の中に潜り込む時みたいな、
That's a
そん
mood
な
right
気持
there.
ちになれる場所。
That's a mood right there. It's your day off, so okay, I'll just get under the covers. That's a mood.
僕なら損したと思うな。休日なのに勘違いして起き出すなんて姉さんくらいだ。それで
うん。そこにいた時はね、満たされてて、とても穏やかだった。でも、元の世界に戻ってくると、つい直前までそこにいたはずなのに、うまく思い出すことができないの。
So it's like being in a dream. You did say that it's like being in a dream, right? When you're in a dream, right? You remember the things that happen, and then when you wake up, you don't remember what happened in the dream very well.
ついさっきまで見ていた夢が思い出せないのに、
Wow.
よく似てる。
Wow, Shannon, you're just copying my words now, huh? You're just copying what I've just said. Okay, great. Damn. Ah, frick you.
でも、とっても穏やかで、静かな世界だったことだけは覚えてるの。
Okie dokie.
それだけ？なんだ、あいつが偉そうに言う黄金鏡なんて大したことないな。何でも願いが叶う場所だと思ってたのに。
その通りだよ。何でも願いが叶う場所。少し違うかもしれない。何も願わなくてもいい場所が正解かもしれないね。例えばカノン君が寒くて上着が欲しいと願った時、上着をもらえればとても幸せなことだけど、そもそも暖かい部屋にいられたなら上着が欲しいなんて願う必要さえもないでしょ。黄金鏡はそういうところなの。大抵の願いは願う必要さえなくなる。
For most, so there are some wishes.
すべてから解放された何もかもが穏やかな世界なの。与えられて幸せという概念さえも超越した、すべてから解放された世界とでも言えばいいのかな。
なんだか宗教っぽい世界だな。
I mean, you cannot deny Canon. The amount of religious ties you can put in with this visual novel is crazy. I haven't gotten really deep into them because I can't really be bothered to. But come on, you can so easily tie in religion with this magic concept and golden land concept. It's so obviously religious, but I just choose not to get very deep into it. But it's obviously there. I think you kind of have to be blind almost or crazy to not notice that similarity.
そしてそこでは全てが平等なの。意志ある存在は全てが平等。人間も家具も魔女もない。そこでの私は誰とも対等で公平。もう家具だからと何も自分を恥じる必要がない。全ての人間とも、そして魔女とさえ対等な本当に幸せな世界だったの。
本当に幸せ？
うまく思い出せないけど、そこでは私、ベアトリーチェ様とさえ対等な関係で良い友達でいられた気がする。
Okay, so if I'm willing to believe that much, were you also best friends with the goats that breathe like this? Were you friends with those guys?
あの魔女がいるならろくな理想郷じゃないよ。
Agreed, bro. If that witch is there, bro, any hopes of it being a paradise is just gone. Just seeing her face would get me annoyed. There's nothing the Golden Line can do about her freaking crappy face. Her annoying voice. Voice actress. Nah, voice actress is good. I don't want to say that. Voice actress, I'm sorry if you're watching this, you're good. I just Beato herself is what I hate, not you, okay? The Beato sucks.
で、その幸せな黄金鏡に姉さんはジョージ様と一緒に行きたいわけだ。おかしな話だね。黄金鏡は全てが満ち足りた理想郷なわけでしょ。ジョージ様がいなくても十分に満たされてそうだけど。
There's two things I'm gonna say to that. One thing is, Shannon probably wants that same content for George, not just for herself, but she wants George to feel content as well, because in her current state, right, she feels love for George and wants him to be as happy as possible. It's not as much that she wouldn't be content even if George wasn't there, but it's just if George was there, her current self wishes for it because she'd be happy about George feeling content as well. Secondly, this whole thing about being content. Remember the discussion between Amakusa and Angie? Many parts ago now. If you're self-content, why would you need someone else's approval or attention or whatever, or to be proud of you to be self-content, right? That just proves that you're not self-content, right? Because if you're self-content, then you don't need someone else's attention to be happy. Does that make sense? It's the same kind of thing. So, Kanon, relaying back from that, making a good point here, ties into what Angie and Amakusa are discussing. And Mammon.
黄金鏡はね、とても穏やかで安らかで、全てが対等で公平だけれど、幸せだけ実は抜けてるの。
幸せな世界じゃないの？
もちろん安らかで穏やかで公平というだけですごい幸せな世界だよ。でもそれは例えるなら、全ての悩みというマイナスから解放されたゼロの世界なの。
Exactly. And if you don't have any negativity, you don't know what it's like to have positivity. Does that make sense? Like, you need those rainy days to understand why sunny days are so much more precious. Or else you wouldn't get it.
人の世はマイナスで満ちてるから、もちろんゼロというのはものすごい幸福なわけだけど、
Exactly, like you need
それでもゼロなの。
you need the negatives to be able to appreciate the positives. Because if you only get positives, you don't truly appreciate them.
贅沢だよね。それはこういう感じ。穏やかな休日の朝のまどろみの時、 最愛の人も隣にいてくれて手を握っててくれたなら、もっともっと素敵な幸せになれる
So
み
that's
たいな。
so that's Shannon's answer to the Amakusa, Angie, and Mammon discussion that they were having on the boat. This is what Shannon would say. That's her interpretation of self-content. Okay.
ごめん、姉さんは例えが下手くそだね。バカだから。
つまり
But still, 2 times 0 is still 0. So even if someone else with you, you become 2. It's still a place of 0, so it's still 0.
姉さんにとっての最高の幸せとは、ジョージ様と一緒にその世界にたどり着くことってわけだ。
そしてきっとカノン君にとっては、お嬢様と一緒にその世界にたどり着くことだよ。
公平な世界で二人は悩みから解放されなんだかおかしな宗教を吹き込まれてるみたいだ。僕はもっとこう俗物的な魔法の薬を与えられると人間に生まれ変われるとか、そういう感じの世界を想像してたよ。
行けばわかるよ。ベアトリーチェ様が本当に気まぐれな方なら、いつかきっとカノン君にも垣間見させてくれるに違いない。そうすれば姉さんの例えがよくわかるようになるから。
ま、過剰な期待はしないことにしとくよ。いずれにせよ、今回の僕たちはこれでゲームオーバーみたいだし、別の機会に期待するさ。
そうだね。おかしな期待を持つとベアトリーチェ様にまたつけ込まれる。何も考えずただ運命に身を任せるのが私たちには一番かもしれない。
僕たちはただチェスの駒であればいいんだ。何を考えても考えなくても、どうせ魔女のチェス盤からは逃れられない。後のお役目はどういびり殺されるか、ただ待つことだけさ。そんな僕らに黄金鏡の夢なんて虚しすぎる。
そうだね。ごめん。
Cameron shrugged his shoulders and told Shannon to leave him alone because she was interfering with his duty, distancing himself from her. Realizing her thoughtlessness in bringing up such an inappropriate topic and instead hurting Kanon, Shannon bit her lower lip and stared at the ground. She wouldn't bother him anymore. She went off and squatted in a corner by herself. At that moment, Kanon twitched. It was like the ears of a cat when it reacts to a faint sound.
どうしたの？
旦那様、誰か来ます。
I think I'm gonna end it there. I think I'm gonna end it there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a very, very suspicious place to end it. Somebody is coming. I wonder who. We'll find out the little twist of that next part. Where to go, or something else coming. We shall see. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this part of Umineko when they cry. And I hope you enjoyed this 999th video of my channel. Tomorrow, I'll upload my 1000th video. And the day after that, we'll continue with more Umineko, I'm sure. With my 1001st video. 1001st video. That'll be more Umineko. And in my 1001st video, you shall see who this person that's coming is. Dun-dun-dun. Alright guys, I'll see you then. Peace.